Sunday. Where does that leave Conservative MPs contemplating the future of Rishi Sunak?
Okay.
Question mark.
Question mark, a big one. Well, the night has come to an end. In a second, we'll hand you over to our colleagues at BBC Breakfast. In these last important hours, your votes have given us plenty of signs of where public opinion is heading in this general election year. A very difficult night for the Conservatives. Pretty good one for Labour with that big swing in Blackpool South. But tons more results to come today. We'll bring you them all on the BBC as the next couple of days unfold. Thanks so much for your company. Goodbye for now.
This is Rob. He's one of the cleverest blokes I know, who just loves talking about art.
It's like fireworks in your brain.
And this is Ryan, who doesn't know his arts from his elbow.
This is a big old paint job.
Despite our differences, we're good mates. So we're getting away from it all on the original package holiday.
From Venice to Florence and Rome.
Let's do it. To us, the Grand Tourists.
Robin Ryland's Grand Tour starts Sunday the 12th of May on BBC Two and iPlayer.
Discover unique stories.
Other colourful frescoes are starting to emerge.
It's all very beautiful.
This is history's secret heroes.
They had no idea that she was Britain's top female codebreaker.
Co było straszne. Nikomu nie pobажав.
Only on the BBC. Watch on iPlayer, listen on Sounds.
Hello and a very good morning to you. Friday begins now on BBC One with Breakfast.
Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Charlie Stayt and Naga Munchetty.
Our headlines today. Labour wins the Blackpool South by-election on a bruising night for the Conservatives and a strong performance from the Reform Party.
The people of Blackpool South have spoken for Britain. They have said to Rishi Sunak and to the Conservatives they've had enough.
That's just one outcome on a night of counting in the local elections around England. Labour is making key gains from the Conservatives.
These elections are a huge test of public opinion. Millions of votes are being counted, and what happens next will shape the political landscape as we rev up for that general election.
Take that. The group becomes the latest act to move gigs away from the troubled Co-op arena.
Good morning. It's a lovely start to the day here in North Yorkshire, but the recent rainy weather plus cost of living worries seem to be putting off some people from booking a UK break. I'll be looking around the caravan park here and finding out a little more.
Good morning. In sport, a nightmare night for Aston Villa. They've now got a mountain to climb to keep their European dream alive after a big defeat at home to Olympiacos.
Stormzy and the beautiful game, the rapper on home ground, as he opens his own youth centre in South London.
And good morning. We'll see some sunshine today for Scotland and later for southern England too, but fairly cloudy with some patchy rain elsewhere. I'll have all your bank holiday details coming up.
Good morning. It's Friday, the 3rd of May. Our main story. Labour has won the Blackpool South by-election with a convincing majority. The Conservatives came second. They previously held the seat until their MP resigned after a lobbying scandal. The Reform Party came a close third.
Now, the first wave of results for the local elections in parts of England has also started to come through overnight. And so far, the Conservatives lost council seats, while Labour has made some key gains. Our political correspondent, Damien Grammaticus, has the latest.
Commonly known as Chris, Labour Party, 10,825.
Blackpool South, a little before 5 a.m, and a decisive Labour victory. They were confident of emerging winners in the by-election, but this was emphatic.
They have said to Rishi Sunak and to the Conservatives they've had enough. They've had enough for 14 years of the Conservatives being in power. They have lost trust of the British people and Blackpool has had enough of this failed government.
The Conservatives, who had held the seat, were beaten into second place, but the shock for Tories will be that Reform very nearly pushed them into third.
They didn't get Brexit done properly, they didn't cut immigration, and people are tired and sick and tired of the Tory incompetence and lies. We're done with it. We're done with the Tories. It's time for change. It's time for reform.
And the first council of the night to change control, Hartlepool.
Q&A at Bailey Fleet, Labour and Cooperative Party, 649 votes.
The Conservatives lost 6 councillors here, Labour in charge again. The win is symbolic for them, clawing back lost ground.
Day, Thomas William, Labour Party, 806.
In Rushmore in Hampshire, Labour have taken control directly from the Conservatives. Boundary changes helped here, but it's also been gaining wards from Tories. Mounting losses, an unwelcome sight for the Conservative minister at the count. And in northeast Lincolnshire, more Labour cheer.
Wow.
Conservatives lost control of the council here. Grimsby is exactly the sort of place Labour will hope to win back at the general election.
Sadly, in local elections, they tend to mirror the polls at national level, and clearly it's a statement of the obvious. We're far behind in the polls nationally, and people follow through at local level.
But there are warning signs for Labour too. This is Oldham. In some areas with substantial numbers of Muslim voters, Labour are struggling to hold on to support. And elsewhere, the Greens have been picking up votes, often at Labour's expense.
Voters are really, really sick of this Conservative government and the way they've run this country into the ground over the last 14 years, but they're not really feeling inspired by what Keir Starmer's Labour Party is offering.
In Stockport, where they're counting in a car park, Liberal Democrats could make gains from Labour. But what they're most focused on are the places they face off with Conservatives.
We're expecting to see gains, we're expecting to see good progress, but specifically in the areas where we hope to win parliamentary seats.
And I do hereby declare that Carol Ann Shevlin-Ney is duly elected.
So the picture emerging is one of Labour chalking up gains, Conservatives slipping back, and smaller parties winning support from both of them. Damien Grammaticus, BBC News.
Let's take a closer look at the result breakdown in the Blackpool South by-election. Labour's Chris Webb won 10,825 votes. That's a majority of 7,607. Conservative David Jones came in second with 3,218 votes, just 117 ahead of Reform UK's Mark Butcher.
So what that means is that Labour won 59% of the vote, Conservatives won 18%, Reform UK came a close third.
Which means the Labour vote rose by 21%, while the Conservatives fell by more than 30%. So the 26% swing was the third biggest from the Conservatives to Labour at a by-election since the Second World War. Let's talk to our political correspondent, Helen Catt, who joins us now from Blackpool. Hello, Helen. I mean, the iconic tower behind you. What does this say? What does this indicate? Morning.